Hey, alright, so this is my third try doing this. Last time, did over an hour of gameplay recording and found out that... Yes, too late. Alright, anyways, did over an hour, found out that my microphone was not working. And hopefully this will, be the time that works. So, Call of Cthulhu Dark Corners of the Earth came out in 2005. I was in high school at the time. Huge Lovecraft nerd. Always wanted to play this game. Never got around to it for whatever reason. Here we go. We're going to start a new game so that way you can kind of see what's up. New game, come on. Yes. Private investigator.
Now, at my end, I can fully see. My last case opened in me a new fear, a real fear, a fear of myself, of what I am, and of what I've always been. All that I was is now lost. Hope, purpose, pleasure, all meaningless. I now walk in the shadows between worlds, and it is there I have finally glimpsed upon what lives in the dark corners of the earth.
Yeah, so as you can see, the graphics are a little dated. Still playable. Cutscene, it's cool. It's atmospheric. It sets the tone for the game pretty well. This is like the 5th time I've seen it in the last 24 hours, so it's kind of lost its impact on me. First couple times I did this, I had some commentary about playing the floor is lava. Yeah, it just feels kind of forced by this point. Alright, so that's kind of a precursor of things to come. Our main character is, of course, in an asylum, flashing back to, I think, 6.5 years earlier. Saving game. We have the actual start of our game. Yep, 6.5 years ago. And here we go. It's the same journal. Bum bum bum. Something I noticed is the car door is actually transparent. You can see like the railing and rocks through that. Kind of an odd little visual glitch there. Also, all the raindrops in the camera are actually like inverted heart shapes rather than the typical like teardrop you'd think. It's a little distracting. Also, I am...
Robert, this had better be good. What's the beef?
Sorry, Jack. We had to call. This fellow will only talk to you. Name's Victor Holt.
Don't know any. Victor.
Victor Holt.
He's the leader of this weird cult that moved in here a few months back. Got about 20 followers. They've been causing trouble all over town. Stealing, going through folks' trash. Hanging around outside people's homes at all hours.
Yep, basically
No one ever
hobos.
presses charges, though. They're a screwy bunch. They've got the locals scared. So tonight, we were just passing, doing the normal rounds, when we heard gunshots fired from their property.
Gunshots? Hang on there. No one said anything about gunshots. Who have we got out here?
Just me, Nichols, and a few new recruits.
Well, that's just great.
Just
Lead the way, Robert.
great.
I better check out this crazy gang of yours.
Alright, let's see how quickly we can actually get through it this time. Last time, I actually took quite a bit of time and tried to explore as much as possible, and there's a lot of downtime because of it, so I'm gonna just kind of try to keep it moving this time. Gotta wait for this guy, though. Yeah. Nope, I'm here. Don't worry.
Evening, Jack. Glad you could join the freak show.
My
How's
pleasure.
it looking, Henry?
I don't like this one bit, Jack. Check the alley on the right. Victor Holt's over there in the shadows.
Yeah,
He's
that
waiting
guy.
for you.
Can we trust him?
Of course.
Nope, but we've got you covered. You better take it slowly, though. They're a bit twitchy.
Twitchy. Alright. So, last time
calm.
I
better
made her
hurry, Jack.
run for it over there. It's just, yep. Okay. So, they started shooting, guy ran back into the house. Rats. Nice. Just get a little exercise there, aren't you, buddy? Yeah, got some nice Lovecraftian drawings and
That's an
artwork
unusual
here.
design.
Ah, yes, very unusual.
A depiction of some alien creature.
Some alien creature. The doors are unusually squat and square.
It looks like an eye, but the rest of the painting has no real shape.
What about this one?
This blasphemous image makes me feel uneasy.
Blasphemous.
A powerful painting of some cosmic horror.
Cosmic horror. Oh, this is actually a little altar kind of pedestal thing. That's kind of cool. I didn't see this before.
As I continue to translate the narcotic fragments, I become more and more eager to contact my Yithian masters. These beings truly are gods to us. Their intellect and knowledge surpasses ours in ways impossible to comprehend. I know now just how insignificant mankind is in the universe, a doomed and simple species thrown up as a side effect of an experiment by the elder things. It is a blessing that such flawed creatures as ourselves have such a short and limited future.
Alright, so that kind of summarizes a lot of the philosophy in Lovecraft's work, that we are indeed just minuscule specks in the cosmos. The Yithian race was a race of aliens, showed up frequently in the works. Shadows Out of Time, I think, was the one that really introduced them, so if you want to check that out, that's a good place to start. Picked up our first journal item. Study journal, okay, yeah. What about this? Wait.
The board has been used to illustrate a diagram.
I didn't realize, for some time actually, last time I played this, that you could
Fire's
actually
still burning.
inspect things, so there's a few things I guess I've missed. Yeah, maybe don't kill them all.
It's locked.
It's
That symbol's strange. Looks almost like a flaming eye. I should take a closer look.
that didn't happen last time.
An old grandfather clock.
Yes, it is. Here we go. Yep, save file. Had to figure that out the hard way before.
It's locked.
Running low on ammo. The voice acting in this is simply wonderful. I love it.
It won't open.
Won't open.
It won't budge. It's been boarded up.
You don't say. Oh yeah. At last. Uh-huh. Yes. All these bullets and no gun to hurt myself with.
What a nut house. The walls have been covered with glyphs.
Hey boys. What could possibly be in here? Ah yes, now that I've found it, I can finally get some answers. Someone who's alive.
Don't shoot. I'm unarmed.
Ah,
Just here to
expecting
talk.
you, Mr. Walters.
Perfect. We've been expecting you, Mr. Walters.
Damn. He recognized me. And it sounded like he was going to get on the level with what's going on in this joint.
I like how it's not really like a hole in his face. It's just been painted
Damn.
red.
He recognized me.
Yeah.
And it sounded like a key. This should help downstairs. He's dead. Looks like a bad case of lead poisoning.
Alright.
Poisoning by the looks of it.
Yeah, it kind of does this wobbly effect, like it's amnesia or
A
something.
diary. This will make interesting reading.
But I'm not quite sure what's triggering it.
He's dead. They're all dead.
They're all dead.
Suicide. Or rather, mass suicide. These nuts had some serious issues. He's dead. They're all dead.
Yeah, okay.
I better keep my distance from the window, or I'll end up like this nut job.
Hello. Alright, I do believe I did say I was
It
going
won't
to
open. It won't budge.
try to get through this a little faster this time, so I'll stop lollygagging, I guess.
The shelves have collapsed and spilled books all over the floor.
Books? Who needs books? Books are for nerds.
It's locked.
Oh, I'm just looking at the painting, but okay.
It's unlocked.
Oh,
It must have been lit recently, but it started to die down.
no, the pictures. Focus. What about the boards? Nothing?
What the hell is going on? It seems they've been tracking my movements.
There we go. What's over here? More photos. Oh. This didn't happen before.
I don't understand. I mean, all of these photos. All of them. There must be some kind of mistake. Why would they want me here? It must be an old case. Something I've forgotten. Some screwball with a grudge, maybe. Think. I've gotta think. All these photos and clippings are of me. I just don't get it.
It's all
Another
about
key.
you.
This should fit the door across the hall. I can't open it. Damn. Looks like I'm stuck. I might as well check this place out. It's unlocked. For nutcases, they seem quite literate.
Ah, yes, the
These
moaning.
books are really old, and most
I
of them are
remember
in
the
strange
moaning.
languages I don't understand.
Like English.
I don't have time to read. I'm a detective, not a pen pusher.
Yeah.
I don't
Not
have
some
time to
nerd.
read. I'm a detective, not a pen pusher. I don't have time to read. I'm a detective, not a pen pusher. It appears to be a private... I don't have time to read.
God damn
It
it.
appears to be a private study
Yes. I want this, though.
area. It
Give it to
appears
me.
to be a private study area.
Give it to
It
me.
appears to be... I don't have time to read.
Ah.
I'm a detective. The drawer holds an ancient manuscript. The symbols on the front seem to be written in classical Greek.
Alright, so obviously the interaction system with the environment is a little bit wonky, especially since there's no crosshair, which is, like, thematically, I get it. there's less, on the heads-up display in the screen here. I'm making motions to my monitor. You can't see that, but yes, I'm indicating the monitor. There's nothing here except for the environment. No health system, no scores, no ammunition tracker, no reticule for targeting, and that is great thematically because it just focuses you entirely on the environment, but it can make it kind of hard to just be like, yes, I want to get the thing out of the drawer. I'm not looking at the desk, I'm not looking at the bookshelf, I am just trying to get that thing. I had to push like 5 times.
There are definitely some strange sounds coming from this side of the room.
Yes, strange moaning coming from the trap door that seems to be leading to the basement. What could possibly be wrong about this?
Shit, that did not sound good.
It sounds like somebody's having a really good time down there. I do not want to go down here, though. Gasp! It closed behind
It's wedged
me.
shut. It figures.
Jack!
Help!
Jack,
I'm down
where
here!
are you?
Help! I'm down here!
There's no one in here. We should check
Help!
upstairs.
Help! Help! Help!
I guess they can't hear me. Oh, oh.
Well, that's just swell.
Ain't that just swell? This guy's so non-cavalier, except when he's yelling for help, I
He's
guess.
dead. The beam must have fallen and crushed his skull.
Oh no. And suddenly, a morgue. I actually have a friend that has this exact poster framed. So, just kind of funny little thing.
Dead bodies, and plenty of them. Something dreadful has been going on down here. From the markings, he must have been one of their own. I wonder if he volunteered.
La cucaracha, la cucaracha.
In all my time on the job, I've never seen anything like this before. It looks like the bodies have been mutilated. If my instincts are right, I'd say they've been experimenting on each other. The stench in here is sickening.
What about this one?
Most of these corpses have been here a while.
Ah, yes. The mustard and
Seems
ketchup
like these
cabinet.
cabinets are used for storing chemicals and medical equipment.
And spare condiments.
Seems like these cabinets
Okay.
are used for storing chemicals and medical equipment. Seems like these cabinets are
Okay.
used for storing chemicals and medical equipment.
Oh. Suddenly I've walked into a Dwemer ruin. Bum bum bum. This man has very long arms. All the better for hugging.
Good God! What the hell is all this?
Give me
I've
a
never seen
hug.
such equipment before. Who could have made such a machine?
Yes, and we have various organs and grotesqueries on display in
His
here.
beating heart.
Oh.
The contraption above seems to be controlling his breathing. Looks like his stomach. Looks like his brain. I wonder what those wires are for.
Yes, I wonder.
This pipe must drain the waste from his intestines. Looks like his kidneys. They're moving around in all that liquid.
What about this? What kind of organ is this?
Nothing of interest.
Nothing of interest.
Ah! It's too hot to pick up.
Too high? Hot damn. Make a dragon want to retire, man. Too high. Hot damn. Ooh, what does this button do?
Oh, shit!
Yeah. Ooh. Intestinal lightning.
At least he's out of his misery.
Uh-huh. I did nothing. I was not here.
I've never seen equipment like this before.
to say about that one? Alright, moving on. Like I said, I was not here. I did not touch anything.
This tunnel feels like it's going
moving
to
on.
collapse at any moment. It's too hot
Too
to
hot to touch.
I think it's being used as a power source for the machine.
Since the last button I pushed went so well, I'm going to... Haha! And yes, we got this whole thing over here.
It's a similar shape to the slot upstairs. It looks like something's been removed from it.
What could it possibly be? Some sort of slot with a thing that you put into it.
There's no power.
It doesn't have power. If only I knew of something that could provide power when it's put into a slot to these weird machines. Where have I seen? Oh yeah, it's right here.
Still warm.
Still warm. Bonk. And
It looks like something's
there
been
be
removed from
light.
it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Gotta go into the inventory and put that in there. And there's a lot of fun noises coming from down there, but I can't get down there and check it out, so. And here we go. Cutscene! Yep. Definitely looks like those things upstairs. Definitely looks like other depictions I've seen of the great race of Yith. So, yeah. And now it's like
It's been more than 6
5
years
Oh,
since
6
I
years
entered
later.
that strange house in Boston. But to me, it was just 5 months ago. Amnesia, the doctors called it. Probably brought on by acute mental stress. I remember investigating the far side of the library. There was screaming. According to the police report, they had searched the house for hours, only to find me later collapsed on the floor. When my eyes opened and I spoke, my colleagues recoiled in fear. There was something unnatural in my voice and blank gaze. They committed me to Arkham Asylum, where I was diagnosed with severe schizophrenia. As it became clear that I presented no danger to either myself or others, I was released from the asylum's care. I have learned little of my activities in the 6 years that followed. The accounts I've been able to piece together show much of my time was spent in travel and study. I maintained a fanatical infatuation with the occult, delving deep into volumes concerning witch cults and dark legends, often in languages unfamiliar to my own. When I reawakened 5 months ago, exactly 6 years after entering that house in Boston, no trace was left of what had been a secondary personality. I was myself again, or at least what I believed myself to be. Return to normal life has been a painful process. In recent days, my dreams have been plagued by cosmic landscapes, and I've become fearful of my own reflection. I am beginning to remember things from that day, more than 6 years past, that I've told no one else. Jack Walters.
Hello, Mr. Walters. My name's Arthur Anderson. I need your help finding a missing person.
I don't take that kind of job.
Did you get my package?
Hold on.
Let me just check my inbox. Yes, right here. Cash money, cash money.
What exactly do you want from me, Mr. Anderson?
It's one of my store managers, you see. Brian's his name. Brian Burnham. Nice lad. He disappeared recently from the First National grocery store in Innsmouth.
Innsmouth? Never heard of it.
It's a small fishing town on the coast, not far from Arkham. I'd like to see you in person before you leave.
Hold on there a minute. I didn't agree to take this what the hell? I'll be here all day anyway.
So, for those of you that don't know, Innsmouth is one of the more popular or well-known locations in Lovecraft's works, where most of it takes place in Arkham, Massachusetts, but Innsmouth is a location just nearby. It was the Shadow over Innsmouth or something like that. Was one of his more famous short stories, and from what I've heard, this game is based heavily on that story and depictions of Innsmouth. So again, just kind of they're name dropping some things here in the greater Cthulhu mythos, H.P. Lovecraft lore, and I just thought I'd kind of point that out for anybody that is not familiar. So got a new journal entry here. I made a point not to read the other ones because I spent a lot of time reading journal entries last time, and my throat is still pretty hoarse from a bad bug I've had for the last couple weeks, and it's still pretty scratchy and probably not that nice to listen to. So I figured I'd minimize that a little bit, but what the hell? February 6th, 1922, night. I have a new client, Mr. Arthur Anderson, the regional manager of the First National grocery store chain. It appears that the First National grocery store in Innsmouth was recently burglarized, and its manager, one Brian Burnham, is missing. From what I've been able to gather, Burnham is something of a young rogue. A friend of the family, Mr. Anderson, gave him the job as a favor. Burnham is looking like the prime suspect for the robbery, but there are a few things that don't add up. Not to Anderson, and not to me. For the instance, why would Burnham force entry into the store when he had a full set of keys, free access to the cash register, and the combination of the back office safe? To misdirect any investigation? If that was his plan, why did he disappear? Following my conversation with Anderson, I found out what I could about the ancient town of Innsmouth. For generations, the crumbling seaport and its peoples have been shunned by neighboring communities. Outsiders are unwelcome there, and there are superstitious tales of a strange element in the town's oldest families. They are of mixed blood, so the stories go. Whatever that's supposed to mean. The usual Hicktown prejudice, no doubt. And that kind of touches on another thing. Many of H.P. Lovecraft's stories had to do with people of mixed bloodlines or cursed lineages. Oftentimes they'd find out that their ancestors were some sort of inhuman monster to some degree. And a lot of scholars kind of see that as indicative of the author's xenophobia and, to put it plainly, he was a really big racist. But being kind of this self-imagined descendant of British nobility and such, it wasn't just color of skin kind of racism, but anybody that wasn't purebred or whatever. So poor white people oftentimes were also very negatively depicted. It didn't matter to him as much, what the color of your skin was, as long as, it was more like if you came from a good family sort of thing, which I guess still narrows it down to white people. Anyways, he was pretty racist, and it kind of shows in his stories sometimes, but more modern renditions or things inspired by Lovecraft tend to kind of leave that out, but it can kind of be hard to remove completely from the stories. Just a little side note there, sidebar. After making a brief visit to Innsmouth, my client came away distrustful of the local natives. He isn't buying their line that Burnham robbed the place, and he wants to know what happened to him. Only one bus goes to Innsmouth, and tomorrow afternoon, I'll be on it. It feels good to have a purpose after 5 months of trying to break through my amnesia. I also feel a little apprehensive. Maybe it's the wild stories about the town, or maybe it's just because I haven't had a case in so long. A visit to the old town. I do not expect the reader to believe what I am about to relate. Any sane mind, and never mind. It's another thing I kind of wish that those little snippets stayed up a little longer, because it'd be kind of interesting to just see what they have to say.
Driver, how far to the stop?
Almost there. I'll drop you at the town square of Elizabeth.
Why lock the gates?
Keeps out wanderers looking for work. We don't want those folks like that interfering with our affairs.
Is the bus to Markham always this empty?
Modern
Preferred
parallels.
it that way. Not many countries,
But what about trade?
Build a wall.
Surely the port needs business.
Elizabeth has
Don't
the
want
means to look
foreigners
after her
taking
own.
our jobs. Where have I heard that before? Ah, yes. Lovely statue.
This is it, stranger. End of the line.
Well, this town certainly seems a little fishy. Oh, 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 oh. Alrighty. Oh, and he disappeared. Hello. Alright, so this is about as far as I got last time. So I'm going to actually just pause it here. Seems like a good place to stop. Didn't have as much to say this time around, and I guess I apologize for that. I'll try to be a little more conversational in future videos. I'm gonna try to keep playing this and kind of see how that goes. But, you know, after playing this like 3 times and having so much trouble with technical difficulties, I didn't have a lot left to say on the issue the 3rd time around. But yeah, hopefully this time it works, and I'll go ahead and edit this video and have it up, and hopefully have future ones down a lot sooner, now that I think I have this whole video thing figured out. But yeah, bye-bye!